Hello again everyone, and welcome to another episode of Week in Review from CitizenCitadel. Today we've got 9 more news items for you from around the verse, including 3.1.4, the Oso System, and the Crusader Industries Starlifter. So with that said, let's jump right in. So at number 9, we have 3.1.4. So 3.1.4 is still in PTU this week. Last week we saw a whole range of IFCS refactoring and performance fixes in the first patch of 3.1.4. Since then, the majority of the released patches are focused on further tweaking ESP. Overall, it's a fairly small update, but it's good to see CIG taking their time to fix IFCS properly. We're not expecting huge changes from them because they are full swing into 3.2, but it's interesting to see these little patches making their way out anyway. At number 8 we have the current sales. The 100i and starter ship sales both ended this week, leaving us without a sale. CIG quickly gave us a new chance to spend our money, however, presenting CitizenCon tickets to those lucky enough to jump in and grab them while they're available. There are still 1,200 available, but you'll have to be quick if you want to get them in time. Concierge members also saw the new Hercules Starlifter go on sale, with the rest of us getting the chance to pick one up next week on May the 11th. At number 7, we have the roadmap update. Progress was good this week, with the most progress we've seen so far in 3.2. Our top scorer this week was item kiosk shopping, gaining 30% and bringing it to 50% completion overall. The group system gained 20%, and 7 of the tasks gained between 10 and 19%. This is some huge progress and a very encouraging sign that we'll see many of the features make their way to 3.2. The worst performers were the Anvil Hurricane and the Aegis Eclipse, losing 7 and 2% respectively. Both of them saw their tasks almost doubled, with only small progress to make up for it. Hopefully this won't impact their release into 3.2 too much, but only time will tell. We also lost the Mustang rework, seeing it slip into 3.3. This is bad news for those of us waiting for the rework, but at least CIG let us know ahead of time. This week also saw the addition of a new feature to the roadmap, remotely operated turrets on vehicles. This is something a lot of citizens have been asking about, so it's good to see it added. It also serves as a reminder that the roadmap isn't final and can change at any time. Moving on, 3.3 also got some attention this week, breaking down big tasks into chunks and kicking off development on a few of them. First, AI weapon usage began its development this week, moving from 0 to 17%. Both the HRST weapons were also kicked off, with both of them having moved to about 3% so far. Object container streaming was a big one for a lot of people, and it was broken down this week into 4 main tasks, allowing citizens to see what's involved and what's holding up the progress on development. We have code conversion from the old system to the new one at 65%, game object extensions, which allows for better performance and multi-threading, at 84%, asynchronous background spawning, which allows ships to load in the background without disrupting the game, having 0%, and background spawning having 60%. The Aegis Hammerhead and the Constellation Phoenix both lost a little progress this week, with the Hammerhead losing 7% due to the addition of 11 new tasks, and the Phoenix losing less than 1% due to 1 new task. Overall, this has been a very productive week, and the rate of development is really picking up. We saw some fan favourites pushed back, but hopefully those on the current roadmap do make it into the 3.2 release. Let me know in the comments which feature you guys are most excited to see in 3.2. At number 6 we have the bit you've all been waiting for, the Hercules Starlifter. This week saw the release of the latest concept ship from Crusader Industries, the Hercules Starlifter. The Starlifter is a military-class transport ship available in 3 variants. The C2 is a civilian cargo ship designed to move cargo safely and securely. It requires 2 people to crew, and has a cargo capacity of 624 SCU, being capable of carrying 2 tanks into a war zone. It comes with 2 size 4 ballistic cannons and 2 size 3 remote turrets. The M2 mil-spec variant is similar, but is more heavily armoured and is carrying an extra size 3 remote turret, dropping its cargo capacity to 468 SCU. Finally, the A2 gunship is heavily armoured, designed for transport and cargo, while being able to defend itself against the majority of attacks. It has much less SCU at 234, but carries 2 extra size 4 ballistic Gatling guns, 2 size 5 ballistic cannons, and the option for either 4 size 10 bombs or 60 size 3 bombs. This is going to be a beast of a ship and not one that you want to mess around with. At number 5, we have lore content. So this week saw another episode of Lawmaker's Guide to the Galaxy, giving us a look at the Oso System. We had a look at the 6 planets that make up the Oso System, and heard about the Osonian people who inhabit Oso 2. If you want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the video description. At number 4, we have Around the Verse. This week's ATV was another instalment of Shipshape, but we also got some sneak peeks at work-in-progress items. The 600i exploration module is nearing completion, and CIG are looking into how escape pods are going to work for both this ship and other ships in the future. The Mustang line is progressing well, moving to the final art stage. The concept art is looking encouraging, even if the rework has slipped back to 3.3. The props team have been working on heavy machinery and cabling. They've reworked the industrial textures to better show wear and tear, and it looks very impressive in my opinion. Hurston and Lorville are also being worked on, with their design components currently being fleshed out. It's really starting to come together into an exciting layout for these landing zones. We won't cover the Hercules Starlifter here because we already covered it above, so we'll move on with the Anvil Hurricane. The Hurricane is making great progress, having much of its modelling now fleshed out. Much work has been done to the turret, and the beastly 4-cannon setup inside. The Hurricane has a much more minimalist design for the cockpit, giving a clean view for the canopy. CIG confirmed since the Hurricane uses lasers, it can sustain its fire for long periods of time. This gives it an advantage over other fighters because it can outlast fighters using missiles or other finite resources. Finally, we found out a small team will be starting work on the Carrack in the coming months. This team will start on R&D for the first few months, but after this we should hopefully see the development move into full swing, with the scheduled release date being for 2019. At number 3, we have Reverse the Verse. Again, we've already covered the Starlifter, so we'll skip that here. The Hurricane will be optimised to allow you to run the guns for as long as possible, but if you try to run all 6 guns simultaneously, it will run out of power and cooling fairly quickly. However, if you're conservative, you will manage to make the weapons last for quite a long time. The Hurricane is about the same fighting range as the Hornet or the Sabre, and its weak point is on its belly, the one area not covered by the turret. The Hurricane has 4 size 3 weapons on the turret, and they will be fixed. You can't swap them for size 5s like many people have considered. This would have too much of a detrimental effect on the power and cooling systems. It's been hinted that the Hurricane will come in very useful when you want to group up and try to take down a capital ship. This will be a very interesting thing to test in the future. At number 2, we move on to CitizenCon. All the CitizenCon tickets have now been released, with only 1,200 remaining at time of writing. If you want to spend a weekend of fun in Austin, getting to know your fellow citizens and meeting the devs, now is your chance to pick up your ticket. I'll leave that link in the video description as well. And finally, at number 1, we have the community overview. This week saw Phase 2 of the Intel Optane competition, prompting players to post screenshots of their favourite scenic views from around the verse. As with last week, the winner will receive an Intel Optane SSD, so check out the link in the video description if you want to enter. This screenshot here is the winner of the last round of the competition. That's all from me for this week. Please like if you liked it, leave a comment letting me know what you enjoyed, and subscribe if you want to see more Star Citizen content. I'll see you guys in next week's episode of Week in Review.